first inning radio show, and we're live on Zoom, man. And you can find the first inning radio show on Spotify and other streaming services by googling the first inning radio show, and you'll find it on a platform you can listen to it, and you can search for me, BX Bomber 2011 on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube as well. So and check out my vlogs coming soon from Yankee Stadium. But I am along with Roger, the big Yankee fan. Say hello, Roger.
Hello, good evening, BX Bomber. We are recording on May 19th now, I believe it is, May 19th. And we are still waiting to see what may happen with a possibility of a major league season where the owners and the players still have some major details to work out.
Yeah, no, there's a lot to work out. That's the sad part, man. You know,
Right,
so
right there.
and I don't, and I really understand. I understand the players how they don't want to play for 35% of their check. You know what I mean? That's like paying for pennies,
Right.
pretty much. And I don't
Yes,
understand where all that money's going to as well.
Yes, it really is a case of, well, there's operational costs that you and I are not fully aware of. And I mean, they still have the whole minor league system that has to be taken care of, whether they're playing the season or not. They have all kinds of scouts. There's talking about layoffs that could possibly happen in the franchises where different types of scouts and different types of personnel could actually get laid off. It's more than just the Yankees in the stadium. It is the entire network of the franchise where they have all of the teams and the personnel and the scouts and everyone involving personnel.
I mean, how much money would it take to start up an MLB stadium, though? You know what I mean? The Yes Network is being paid by the network. So Michael
Right.
Kay and all of them are there by the network. All the sports reporters are there because of their newspapers or whatever, and photographers if they're gonna be there. And all you're really paying for is the grounds crew, right? The keeping of the
Hmm.
field, and whatever supplies you need to keep these players healthy. You know what I mean? And whatever their plan is to, well, I think they're gonna rent hotels or something for players or something like that. So
I believe the players can stay with their families. That was the whole situation where the players did not like the idea of having the Cactus League and the Grapefruit League, where they would be quarantined in hotels. One of the main objects of playing in their own home stadiums is that they could be with their family.
yeah, I think they're gonna put them in hotels in New York City, right? When they
Oh,
play.
that I don't know. I don't know that for sure.
And players have a lot of doubts. Where what if a player gets sick on the road? If they're playing on the road and the player tests positive on the road, what are they gonna do? Like leave him in the city where he's at or something like that, and they just abandon him or something?
It is the situation in South Korea is if a player tests positive, I think they have to shut down the league for 3 weeks. But I don't know what the accommodations would be for a player that has tested positive, whether he is quarantined there or if he travels back. I don't know where he would quarantine if he tests positive.
That's the thing where people don't really understand. You know,
Right.
so it's like it's crazy, man. I don't know. I don't really see how it's gonna happen. MLB season. You know.
It really is a case of they have to get a lot of things together. And I was watching some of the Korean League earlier this morning, and Tim Kurkjian came on, and he said that he spoke to someone that said 100% chance it's not going to happen, and then he spoke to another person that said 100% chance it is going to happen. So there's all different types of stories, and as we said on our last radio show, It is these 2 weeks are crucial where they have to work out the details, they have to work out the money, they have to work out
Yeah.
the protections, and that's what we have right now.
A matter of fact, I got this neat little article that we can share through Zoom here. If you want to check that out,
Okay, excellent,
let's see
excellent.
if we can get that to work. So hopefully you're seeing my screen now.
Yes, I am.
Okay, and this is a article from ESPN, and it says when could MLB actually return? And here's the latest we're hearing. So I'm gonna play this clip from this ESPN thing, and let's see how it goes. Let's see. Let me get the audio right. Turn it up, and let's play.
You tell us about the importance of this week for Major League Baseball.
Jay, if baseball comes back, this is the beginning of that process. But I do think we have to think of it like it's the top of the first inning with a long way to go because they have so many things to work through. First, the questions about player safety, the questions about testing, the questions about if some players don't want to participate, what do they do with those players? And then, of course, they have the financial issues. The owners have indicated they want financial rollbacks, salary rollbacks, and the players are saying no. Union Chief Tony Clark has said the negotiations on that are over. There's so much to go through, and of course, they're completely at the mercy of whether or not potentially there could be some hot spots, as we saw with the White House in recent days.
Let's get a little deeper into this, Buster. If rosters are unfrozen and organizations are allowed to move players, which team might be impacted the most?
Jay, watch the Chicago Cubs. What you're hearing is they are having a financial crunch because ownership bought a lot of the land around Wrigley Field. They were hoping, of course, that people would go and use some of the facilities they have there. They haven't been having income, of course, in recent weeks like other teams, but they have a number of veterans on that team nearing contract crossroads. For example, Chris Bryant, the third baseman. Other teams heard he was available during the course of the winter. If, in fact, the Cubs wind up having to move some money, then Chris Bryant would be one candidate. And I do think whenever the rosters are unfrozen, it could be like 9:30 on the stock market where suddenly you see teams looking to dump debt as soon as they possibly can in light of the financial losses.
Yeah, man, it's sad, but that's what's going on.
Yes, exactly. Where they, and as I was saying before, it's not only the running of the stadium, but they have the whole network that goes with the franchise. They have their minor league system, they have their scouts, they have their they have their personnel, and all of the different types of personnel and people that the work for the franchise, the office workers, and all kinds of
Yeah.
people. So they're talking about possible layoffs now, and the Cubs might possibly move Chris Bryant, who is one of their top stars that is making a lot of money.
Wow, man, that's so. So they're saying, I guess they're gonna start shuffling a lot of players around then.
Yeah,
In
that's a
reality,
possibility where because with the entire economy shut down and we have over 30 million people unemployed in the country now because the United States did not keep them attached to their employment as many other countries did, modern countries, where the government was paying 80% of the salaries of the employees. But we didn't do it that way. We went through unemployment and the PP personal protection. I mean the payment protection program, and they had to work through banks actually, which was like having a middleman. And so with people losing their jobs and unemployment, and with the Major League Baseball losing a lot of money, they may have to cut down on personnel as well.
yeah, man. It's and now they're starting to notice that they don't need all these people. You know?
Yes, I know. I've heard things where they have found out that so many people are doing Zoom and Skype and everything that they realize that a lot of the office workers don't necessarily have to be at the office building.
Yeah, exactly. So it's turning into, where can we cut corners now?
Right. Exactly. But that was Tim Kirkson there, and that was very good. So they, as he said the same thing that we are saying, that there's a lot of details to work out. One person said it's most
Yeah,
probably not going to happen. Another person said it most probably is going to happen. So these are the same details. We're sounding a little bit like a broken record over our last several radio shows, but these are the details that have to be worked out, and they have to be done over this period of the next 2 weeks or so.
yeah,
Because if it gets pushed back any further, they whether they're going to have an August 1st start date, and I think they would still try to have a 60-game schedule.
yeah, man. And I got another video here. If you want to listen to
Excellent. Sounds
Carlos
good.
Carrera, but um, but I just saw a thing, an article. I think you might be interested in. Is that the Nationals unveiled their World Series ring, but now I lost it.
Okay.
Hold on a minute. I just lost the article. I'll get it again.
So, well, we're turning into fire now. We're having clay jump from when we just had our audio.
Yeah, hopefully it'll sound good, but too bad I
Yeah.
just uh oh, here's a talk about stadiums. The Angels were furloughed non-playing employees on June 1st.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So the Los Angeles Angels have informed non-playing employees of furloughs that will be implemented at the start of June and will affect nearly every department of the organization. Members of the front office, analytics department, scouting staff, and vast majority of those involved with the major league system, including coaches, coordinators, and player development support staff, will be impacted. So,
Wow.
wow. It says the Angels previously committed 1.2 million to cover more than 1,800 people who worked at their stadium and were also among the many teams that were committed to paying baseball operations employees through the end of May. But with zero revenue coming for a sport that is still playing exposition games, coronavirus pandemic release reached North America. Teams throughout this industry is expected to begin issuing furloughs and pay rest deductions soon. So here's a key word. The Angels previously committed 1.2 million to cover more than 1,800 people to work at their stadium, right?
Right.
So is that's probably for a whole year, I guess. I don't know.
Yes. Yes,
I,
I would think so.
I don't think that's a month. I don't think they pay that many employees a month $1 million. Or is it possible? I'm not
No.
sure, but I don't think so, right? But there you go. If they take 1% of each player, they'll have
That
enough
would
money.
probably be their payroll.
Yeah, exactly. So if you take 1% of each player in the major leagues, that'll be more than enough money to operate the whole stadium. Because you're not gonna
Yeah.
have everybody there anyway. You're not gonna have concession stands and all that. So I don't know what they're paying for.
Right.
I really don't get it. They're gonna have to explain that one to me. You know?
Well, I believe that generally Major League Baseball is a $12 billion industry put together, all of the teams and all of the organizations. But with the loss of fans and the loss of different things, they can still have their television contracts, but they can still make about $4.2 billion is the number that I heard that they could still make with a 100 game season starting out without fans. So they would still be making multiple billions of dollars, and players would be making money. They just not would be making much.
Well, now I see that the Cincinnati Reds are also announcing furloughs and pay reductions impacting less than 25% of their baseball operation employees. And the Miami
Wow,
Marlins are reportedly expected to furlough up to 100 baseball operation employees. So,
wow,
but the Angels, they didn't say how many of their baseball operation employees were being impacted. So, who knows what their situation is, but at least 25% of the operations is being impacted.
wow, wow. That is incredible. And it's just showing that this pandemic is hitting everything, including sports, including the economy, including all kinds of people. And I've heard that many of the coronavirus deaths and cases are impacting minority communities far greater than the more affluent communities. Many of the minority communities have high percentages of deaths and everything because they tend to be people that are low on the economic scale. And along with everything else, this pandemic is affecting them tremendously.
I want to play this story, man, about this pitcher from Cleveland that was sick with cancer, with leukemia. I don't know if you remember him last year, and he couldn't
Oh, yeah,
play. And then they honored him at
right,
the All-Star game and everything, right? I got this
right.
I got this neat little video about him.
Okay, excellent.
Let me see if I can screen share this. Share my screen, and hopefully you can check this out.
Yes, good.
Wow, when's the last time you had a haircut?
I got it in the January before I go to training.
These days, Cleveland Indians pitcher Carlos Carrasco is like many of us. He's spending more time in the house with his wife and 5 children, homeschooling, and even playing baseball in the kitchen, which carries its own risks, even during a global pandemic.
I still going to the grocery store. We have to do that, so because we need to eat. I need to feed my family.
What do you look like when you leave the house?
Right here.
Carrasco must adhere to extreme precautions as he might be at higher risk for severe illness from the coronavirus. That's because in June of 2019, following a blood test, doctors told him he has leukemia.
Pero I didn't understand anything. I said, what's going on here? And my wife, she understand pretty clear, and she told me, hey, Carlos, you had cancer. And I just went like, for 10 seconds, just went like everything, the whole my life in 10 seconds.
Carrasco, whose nickname is Cookie, received an emotional reception at the 2019 All-Star Game in Cleveland.
Carrasco getting the love.
And returned to the mound for the Indians in a limited role in early September. He now says if baseball returns, he is all in.
How are you right now?
I'm good, man. I'm good. For me, I know I had cancer, but I've been taking medication for day 1 to now, in the morning and for bedtime too. And I need to take for the next 3 years.
What have your doctors told you about how to act right now during this pandemic?
Just be home. Just be home and stay safe.
That is Carrasco's conundrum. Just how safe can he be if games resume? He's going to be exposed to dozens of people on a daily basis.
They told me, be careful, please be careful, because what you have, you can get infected really quick. But if you don't take care of yourself, maybe in 2 months, it's like from stage 1, they can go to 3 or something like that.
As baseball plans its return, there will be regular testing, empty stadiums, and limited travel. But games resuming also could open the door to the coronavirus, a risk for everyone involved, and possibly life or death for Carrasco. You know, on a baseball field, no one touches a baseball more than a pitcher.
You're right.
There's a ground ball to second base. Maybe the second baseman has licked his hand, gets the ball, throws it out to first. The first baseman throws it right back to you. That ball has been touched by other people. What concerns do you have about that?
They're gonna touch every player if they're fine or not. So I think for that part right there, it made me a little bit safe. But I don't know how this is gonna work out when we start playing baseball.
And that's the bottom line. Nobody knows. Even though the consequences of catching the virus can be fatal for him, Carrasco insists he will play.
I know that I have this disease, cancer, but I just want to be a good dad, and I just want to take care of my family. I know some people that told me you have to take care of yourself because you have this, you have that. But at the same time, as a father, as a son, a friend, brother, I have to do everything for my family.
Cancer has forever changed Carlos Carrasco. He says he appreciates life more than ever, but realizes nothing is promised beyond today.
When somebody receives the news that you had cancer, it's not that easy. Pedro, let me tell you something, because I don't know. Right now, I'm here with you. We're talking here, but I don't know where I can be tomorrow.
Wow, that's heavy, right?
Wow. Yes, a very hard-hitting story there, and inspirational as well. A very hard-hitting story, no doubt about it. Carlos Carrasco was a very good pitcher for the Indians, and he tragically got leukemia, and that is a hard-hitting story, no doubt about it.
Yeah, man, it's sad, man, but at least he's gonna make his return, so he'll be back. You know?
Right, right. That's why I'm really looking forward to them hopefully working it out, and then we'll take it from there, and hopefully that they can have a bit of a season. I am enjoying the South Korean league, though. I'm learning the teams: the Doosan Bears, the NC Dinos, the Tigers. I'm learning the names of all the teams.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's I still haven't learned them yet, but I'm trying.
Right, right. And that's pretty good, and that's enjoyable to have. And I'm keeping some weird hours now, waking up very early, and this morning I had trouble staying awake because I fell asleep late last night, but I
Wow.
had it on. I was dozing off a little bit in the very early morning, and then got out today and got some work done here.
Well, here's a little clip from the KBO League, real quick.
Okay.
I'll share my screen. Wait a minute, I just messed it up. Share my screen. Hold on 1 second. Okay, here we go.
Massive struggles for him, and this is there's a home run, Eduardo, and that is way gone. Massive home run for Roberto Ramos, his 6th, and it puts the LG Twins on the board, no doubt about it. And
as I was just about to say, that it doesn't matter how many home runs you hit in Albuquerque. I mean, it's tainted.
Yeah, that one is hit, and this is a plus for him, because one of the knocks on him when he was in AAA with the Colorado Rockies was, can he or will he be able to hit left-handed?
Yeah.
So
they sell his contract over to Korea because in Korea, Colin, as you know, there are a lot of lefties. And Roberto Ramos not only can hit lefties, but he can also move really well, as we saw right there on the bench.
Yeah,
That ball was lit up.
That ball was crushed. As you know, too, they have so many people on the bench that honestly, I felt like every time I pitched, there was a whole lineup full of lefties.
See that Major League
I don't
Baseball
understand
swing?
how they do it.
Yes, that is Ramos.
Look at that swing, man. That's why he hit it that far.
Right. That, and he's packing a lot of power.
Yeah, man, that's serious.
That is very good. Very good. So it is enjoyable seeing the KBO too.
Yeah, I guess any baseball is good baseball. But anyway, I guess we'll end the show there. You know,
Okay, this
it's
was
been
a
a
good
great
one.
show. We shared videos and stuff like that, and this will be cool. So hopefully it looks good on the thing, and hopefully people will follow it and give a good like and share. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So everybody, thank you for watching. Follow us on BX Bomber 2011 on YouTube and Instagram, Facebook. Google search the First Inning Radio Show, BX Bomber 2011, and we'll see y'all on the next one. So long, everybody.
Take care.
See ya.